What's good? I'm Coach Colin Castella, and welcome to episode 2 of Dime School, helping you become a prolific passer. Let's jump into it.
Most famous arena.
You see the eyes, Rubio, sending the signal. Boy, that is just, that's a spectacular pass from that.
All right, now obviously, passing is not the most sexy topic, but in video number 1, we covered a few things that you're absolutely gonna need to become a prolific passer. So in video 2, we're taking it up to the next level. All right, so the first thing we're gonna talk about today is we're gonna talk about one-hand mastery. Now, a lot of times growing up, we have coaches that tell us, hey, you need to throw two-handed chest passes and thumbs down and all that sort of stuff. This ain't that kind of passing video. That's not what it's about in real actual game situations. You need to be able to pick the ball up with one hand, throw with one hand, throw from funky angles, all that sort of stuff. So the first key with one-hand mastery is you've got to be able to pick the ball up from no matter where it's at and get into a passing motion where you can throw a full coverage of the court. And what I mean by a full coverage is you need to be able to pick it up with either hand and get it to any spot on the court you need to. So it might be a crossover, pick up, skip opposite. It might be a behind the back shuttle pass to the corner. Whatever it is, you've got to be able to move the basketball with one hand, right? The game is faster today. We don't have time to go behind the back, pick it up with two and shuttle it like that. You've got to be able to get the ball out of your hands quick, because that split second can make a huge difference in your teammate getting an open shot versus a contested shot versus a block shot, etc. so forth. So the first key we want to do is we want to be able to rotate our hand underneath at a moment's notice and pocket the basketball, right? Just because we're picking it up with one hand doesn't mean you have to throw it every single time. There's no rule that says I have to do this and I have to throw it. There's nothing wrong with picking up for a pass, not having it, and then grabbing it with your other hand and then pivoting out of pressure, right? But you've got to be able to pass with one hand. You've got to be able to do it with both hands. I've got to be able to have my trailing big over here with my left and just pick it up and sling it with like a nice little hook pass over the top. And if you watch the most elite level passers in the NBA or in the Euro leagues or wherever you're watching, most of the time they're passing with one hand a lot, right? It's almost more so with one hand than it is with two, because it's faster, it's more efficient, and you can really manipulate the defense a lot more. So get out of the old school mindset. Stop practicing only two-handed passes where you're going from your chest or, stepping forward. Like we've all seen this, drill before. One of those. Quit working on that all the time. Throw with one hand, get loose with it, but be sure that no matter how you're picking it up, you can always secure it if you need to, right? If I pick it up here and I'm gonna throw like a little skip pass, I don't have it, I can pick it up, right? You always wanna be able to get out of the situation if you have to. All right, the next key is a simple acronym that will save you a ton of turnovers and at the same time get you a ton more assists, and it's this: KYP. KYP, wait, Jake's gonna go this way. KYP, right? Yeah, okay, we're not gonna go backwards on that. So KYP, know your personnel, right? Meaning a pass isn't always a great pass. It really depends on who that pass is to, where the pass is going, how they're catching it, how they're getting it, right? So let me talk about that a little bit more. If I've got a guy who's wide open in the corner and I've got a guy who's streaking towards the basket, the good pass or the better pass is gonna depend on who those players are, right? If I've got a guy who misses layups all the time, streaking in the middle, and I've got a guy who's lights out when he's open from the three-point line, I'm probably swinging it to the three-point line, right? Because that's a higher probability of making the shot, better for the team. Same sort of thing. If I've got a guy who's, back cutting, who's got some sort of kind of stone hands, has a hard time catching, and I've got another guy who's a really reliable mid-range shooter streaking towards the center, I'm gonna give it to the guy in the center because he's the one who's more reliable in that situation. Far too often I see young players especially, they throw a pass and it might be the best pass on the planet Earth. It might be some sort of sweet thread the needle, goes between a guy's leg, hits a skip bounce, but they're throwing it to a kid who can't catch the ball anyways, right? So you got a KYP. A great pass is only a great pass if the person can catch it. I'm gonna repeat that. A great pass is only a great pass if the person can catch it. So you need to make sure that you know your personnel, know your teammates, know what they're good at, right? Know what they're bad at. Know what situations they're comfortable in, and ensuring that you're not giving them the ball in a bad situation. I've seen it far too many times, and you can cut your turnovers in half almost immediately just by thinking about this alone. So think about your teammates right now. Think about the guy who can't catch anything. You probably got somebody in your head. Think about the guy who's lights out from the three-point line. You probably already know, right? Start thinking about your teammates in those, situations, and then be sure that you're only giving them the basketball in areas they can be successful. KYP, it's huge. It's all mental, but it will save you a ton of turnovers and get you even more assists. All right, the next key, quick decisions. As soon as you touch the basketball in an offense, or as soon as you cross half court in transition, whatever it is, you want to make quick and fast decisions. The biggest mistake a lot of players make is they catch the ball and they hold it for too long, or they pound it with 14 dribbles, and by the time they've done that, the defense is set up, and a lot of their opportunities that they had that were super easy went away, right? It might be as simple as catching the ball and firing it down into your post before the man has shifted over and gotten on the high side of his hip, right? It might be just getting the basketball, swinging around the horn to an open shooter before his defender is able to close out. If you can make quick decisions, you put yourself in an opportunity to not only get more assists almost immediately, but also that's what your coach wants. I wish I had $1 for every time I heard a coach going, move it, move it, move it on an AAU, kind of circuit or program or whatever. And then as he's yelling that, kids are, doing this, and they're setting up, doing all sorts of jab dribbles and going crazy, and he's going, swing the ball, swing the ball. Coaches like ball movement because more ball movement makes more pressure on the defense and gets more opportunities, and that means more assists for you. So think quick decisions. If you're holding on to the basketball for longer than 1 Mississippi, that's probably too long, right? If I'm catching it, I'm going 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, too long, right? It's gotta be quick, it's gotta be efficient, because the quicker you move, the more assists you're gonna get, the more opportunities you're gonna get, and the more your coach is gonna like you. All right, so if you want episode 3 of Dime School, I need you to prove that you actually want it. So hit the like button, hit the subscription button, ding the bell notification. I'm gonna check analytics to make sure we're doing it, and then head to the comment section down below and say, I love Dime School, or something about the series that you like, and that'll let me know that we should keep making these, right? I don't wanna keep making stuff if you guys are just like, this is lame, whatever, right? They're helping you become a better basketball player, so let me know if you want episode 3 of Dime School.